This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Salem Cruise Lite travel trailer. The model number is 263BHXL. So this is not a floor plan video or a sales video. This is a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? Obviously this is the low point drain. Use that for when you're winterizing the trailer. You have a door that goes right into the bathroom. Okay. Now these, you have 4 stabilizers that are crank down scissor type stabilizers. They take a 3/4 inch cranker socket. But this has an added feature called a strong arm. So the thing to know is that you won't always loosen this up when you're traveling up and down with the scissor jack. Once you get it down, extended, and in the right position, then you would tighten that up. So it'll take some of the forward and rearward movement out of it. So when you're moving this up and down, you want that loose. But when you're ready to stabilize it, then you crank it tight. Okay, there's one of those on each corner. You got a power awning with LED strip, outside speakers, of course. This is the range hood vent right here. If you look up here, there's a baffle that can snap shut if you want to when you're traveling or put it in storage. But when you're venting, if you have the fan on and you're venting your range, make sure you pull that baffle away so it flaps freely and vents to the outside. Alrighty, so this is the furnace exhaust, of course. This is a sprayer port. In here somewhere is a sprayer, right here. So you have your handset, and then of course your coil sprayer. This is your griddle. The thing you have to remember about the griddle is you have to plug in the LP system. So down here you can see there's a female quick connect for the LP system. You get this hose with it. This piece would go into the female, of course. And then down here it's hooked up to a male down here. So keep that in mind. You have to plug it in before you use it. This is just a 120 AC refrigerator. Okay. Your hitch is a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. So it's a good one. We'll show you how it operates when you pick up. Okay. You have a deep cycle marine battery and a kill switch. Right there you can see that red plastic key turns the battery on and off. You got your tanks behind here, automatic changeover regulator. Both tanks are full. This is your power tongue jack right here. So obviously raises and lowers the trailer. And then you got a hitch light here too. Okay. Now if this ever fails, so you can't get hitched or unhitched, keep in mind you can pull this cap off here, and then you can use, let's see, there should be a crank in here. If not, I'll find one. Yeah, the smaller crank there, that's used for the tongue jack in case it fails. You can crank it manually. Now the little one down there, that 3/4 inch socket that attaches to a drill, that's the one you're going to use for your stabilizer jacks. Okay. All right. So moving on. This is just the other side of your pass-through storage here, like so. Okay, your slide out is in right now. So this is where your dump valve is. Valves are, I should say. You have 3 valves you have 2 gray tanks, a galley tank in the regular bathroom sink and shower tank, and then you have the black one right here, which is toilet water and waste. So you got 1 black and 2 gray. Always dump the black first and then dump the gray because it's cleaner water. And after you dump this gray, you can leave the valve open like it is and bring the hose at the dump station back to here and screw it right on here, and then turn it on and it'll flush out your black tank, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. Just make sure the valve is open before you turn the water on. Okay, your power cord hooks right up to here. Okay, must be inside the trailer somewhere. We'll find it. This is your water heater here. Okay. So now this works on both. You're just washing your trailer here, so it's still a little wet. This works on both gas and electric. Keep in mind there's a rocker switch right here, on and off. That controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So always first of all, never turn that on unless you have water in the tank. You always make sure. The switch for the gas is inside to light it on gas, and to drain it, it takes an 1/16 6-point socket, and it's got an anode rod attached to the back of it, so it's long. Okay, but that's where you would drain it from. I'll show you the switch for the gas when we get inside. All right, so the most common way to get water to your trailer is through the city water hookup, which is right here. You just hook the hose on there and you're all set. Everything works, all the plumbing works as though it should. Now, if you come over here, if you don't have plumbing on the campsite, like say it's an older state park and you have a fill station, you pull up to the fill station and then you fill your fresh water tank right here. And then when you get back to the campsite, you turn on the water pump and it'll pump the water out of the water tank, and everything will work just as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping it from the fresh water tank. So if you have city water, you don't have to worry about that tank and the pump. But if you don't, you can get water in your trailer that way. So this shows us this housing that is pre-wired for a backup camera. Also, what we're looking up, the manufacturer states that you should inspect your roof every 90 days. That's all trailers, not just this one. So make sure that you go up there on a regular basis, and somebody goes up there anyway and looks at the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation, any place water could get in. Make sure none of the roof attachments or material was damaged by low branches or by road debris flying up there, something like that, okay? Odds are you won't have to do anything for a long, long time, but that's why you inspect it, just to make sure. Okay, so your power awning is right here. Never leave it out unattended. Oops. There we go, right there. So there's your light strip up there. Alright, so this one is your slide room. So we'll send it out. A little bit farther. And there you have it. Okay, so let's finish up right here. So this is a dimmer to turn your lights on and off there. You have the outside and inside lights here. This is your water pump here. Remember I told you turn the water pump on if you're pumping from the fresh water tank, or you also use that when you winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas, it's right here. There's the fault light up there. Your battery's charged, or it's actually we're running off battery, so it's a little low. We're not near a plug at this point, it's unplugged. So your freshwater tank has a little bit in it. Black is empty, gray is empty, and second gray is empty, which they call a galley tank. That's the one for the kitchen sink. Okay. So they graduate up in 1/3 increments. Once you get past to 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the gray in the black tank, of course. All right. So you have remote controllers for your fireplace and your stereo here. So the fireplace, very simple. It's basically a space heater. Oh, that's right. It's not plugged in, so I can't show you. Let me see if I can get you plugged in. Well, I'm not going to be able to. We're too far away. So I'll just talk you through it. You can change the fan speed on this one. So you can go from low to high, and that makes a good space heater. It'll really kick out the heat. You can adjust the color of the crystals, and you can adjust the color of the fire itself. Plus, it has a built-in timer, so you can set it to turn on, turn off whenever you choose. So there's a lot that you can do with it. it runs on campground power, so if it's just a little bit cool outside, you could just run this and you won't have to use your limited supply of LP gas. Okay, and your other remote here is for this. So this has it has AM/FM radio. It has Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly with your phone or tablet. You can stream off a USB stick here. You can just put all your albums on one USB drive and take them all with you. This HDMI goes into the system, so let's say you had a portable Blu-ray player. You could set it right here and go right into the system with it. This also has I don't know if I said that correctly. Let me say this again. If you want to go into the system, this HDMI goes in. So if you have like a portable Blu-ray player, for example, you could plug it in right here, set it right here, and then go into the system through this HDMI. Okay, I'm not sure if that's what I told you originally. So yeah, I have to repeat myself just in case. This is just telling us this is pre-wired for a Wi-Fi signal booster. If you're interested, you can go to kingconnect.com. There's also a port on the roof where the antenna would go for it. So when you're choosing a system, you always want the one with the antenna on the roof and the router that would fit right here. And it just boosts your campground Wi-Fi. So, all right. Now, when you're using the TV, this is the signal booster for the digital antenna. See how it's green? I can shut it off, but you always want it on when you're using the antenna. Otherwise, you won't get a good picture unless you have it on. So, okay. All right. So this your microwave, and then you have your range hood with a light and a fan. Remember I told you about opening the baffle outside if you're going to vent to the outside? I don't know if he's got the gas on here, so let me just, if not, I'll talk you through it. Let's see. This is the sparker here. You turn this clockwise to spark. 3 knobs and 3 burners, and then that's your oven right there. So, I don't hear it. So, yeah, it did light. So there it is right there. So you do have the gas on. Now down here in the oven, there's a pilot light all the way to the back there on the bottom. I could spark it and you can usually see it. Maybe. Yeah, I think you can. So what you do is you go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot light. You depress it. You keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. You start sparking by turning it clockwise. And after this light's down here, you hold it in for another 10 seconds or so to heat up the thermocouple. Then you set your temperature. But when you shut it off, keep in mind that the pilot light goes out every time you turn off the oven, so you have to relight it each time you use it. Okay. So, this is your thermostat. It's very simple. You hit it once to light it up, then you go through the fan, low, high, and auto. Always choose auto if they give you an option. Then cool, low, high, and auto. That's what you'd use. And then, of course, your heat. Your heat is your propane furnace. So, fan is the air conditioner running without the compressor. Cool is full air conditioning. Always use those on high if they give you the option. And then heat is the LP furnace. So okay. All right. So another thing, I'm just trying to get my bearings here. This here is a this is the power converter. So what this does, it converts AC to DC power. So you open up and you got circuit breakers like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled. That's 120 AC. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. Okay, that's where your 12 volt comes from. This is also a battery tender, so when you're plugged in, this is sensing how much energy your battery up front needs, and it'll always keep it charged up. It'll send a couple amps to maintain it if it needs to, or send 10 amps to charge it. Whatever it has to do, it'll do. So as long as you're plugged up in, this will charge your battery, and as long as when you're pulling it down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will be charging the battery. So, all right. This is the carbon monoxide LP gas detector here. Should always be green like it is. If not, get it serviced. If it goes off, take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off, figure out what's going on. Okay, it's important. And if it's not green, like I said, get it serviced. Okay. So, the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Let me just hang that up the way it belongs there. Okay. So that works like any other one. This one also. Keep in mind this GFCI, all the plugs are wired through a GFCI, so if you're using something outside and you pop it, it's going to be reset here. The other thing is you obviously have a vent and with a fan in it, and your toilet is an RV toilet, so you always have to have chemical and water in it before you start using it. So if I step on the flush pedal, I can see the black tank directly below. So after I hook up my power and my water, I'm at the campsite. I come in here, I'll dump 1 dose of chemical in the bowl, then I'll step on the pedal and water will come swirling out, and I'll put about a gallon of water in there too. You can't use it dry, otherwise it'll smell terrible, and it can also be clogged up. So you always want to remember you start off with water and chemical in it before you use it for the first time. Now, let's say my black tank was full and I was going to dump it, but I'm staying at the campground another week. After I dumped the tank, I would come in here and repeat that procedure because I'm going to still use it. I put a dose of chemical in, at least a gallon of water, and I'm good till it's dumped next time. Okay. Alrighty. Refrigerator is a 12-volt DC compressor refrigerator. Keep that like that, obviously, so you don't dent your door. Pantry. You can drop this table down and onto the cleats here and turn it into a bed. You can jackknife this one flat, turn it into a bed. There's a smoke detector here. I always have to look to see if he's got it set. Let me see here, hold on. I guess he does. Okay. Sorry about the camera work. Oh, I'll put that back up. Okay. So let's get this finished with the bedroom here. So there's storage under the bed. This is your emergency window. Basically, to escape an emergency, you're going to go like this. You're going to push it all the way through. Then you grab hold of this red tab on the screen, pull the screen out, and then you can exit that way. You can also leave it like that for ventilation too. Alright, you have TV hookups here, and there's a backer plate on this wall so you can hang a bracket. Alright, and I did mention there's storage under the bed. That's a clothes hamper there. Okay. Let me look around, see if I forgot anything. I think I got it all. Yes. So thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about the manufacturer stating to inspect your roof every 90 days. It's important to keep after it. You're just protecting your investment. And also, this has been de-winterized right now. It's in camping mode. So the antifreeze has been purged from the system and replaced with fresh water, so it's ready to be camped in right now. Okay? Thank you.